Hello, everyone, and welcome to a stream with Ali Kane. Today, we're going to be running through his project, Pulse Wars, and I'm really excited to learn everything about this project. Ali, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Yeah, always good. Another day, another launch. Pulse Wars, the mint for Pulse Wars launched a long time ago, back in March. Project has been a long-term build for me, so it's good just to get the game out tomorrow. You know how it goes. You're building at the minute. A lot of work, a lot of stress. And just got to knuckle down, keep blasting away.
I've heard it doesn't get better after you launch, though. The stress continues.
well, okay. I'm getting used to that stuff now.
Yeah. To be fair, you've had your practice, and now it's. So, is this how's the team work behind Pulse Wars? Is this all your creation, or are there people in the? Yeah. Okay.
Pulse Wars was all me. It was my idea, my project was my baby. Even whenever we got together, when the Blaze team formed to start building on Titan X, I had this had been in the background for a long time. It's funny how it's a year has gone by. I actually started building Pulse Wars over a year ago.
Wait, so before. Was it before Titan X, really?
Yeah, I started building this before Titan X was launched.
Wow. Yeah. So a very long time coming. Yeah. Can you quickly run through, for people that don't know, your journey into crypto, and then what maybe led into Pulse Chain, what led into Titan X, and ultimately Pulse Wars?
It's funny when you think back. All right, so I only got into crypto in May 2021. I've been running my own businesses for a long time. I'm 43, 44 in a few weeks' time. But yeah, I've been running my own businesses for a long time. So a bit of an entrepreneur, always trying different things. I'm not afraid to try something new. I've got a transport business, but even before I got into crypto, the last 5 years, my side business was running calisthenics competitions all over Ireland.
Really?
Yeah, I had a gym, and I used to run online competitions, calisthenics competitions.
Wow, yeah, they're really popular now. They're really, really popular. Were you kind of there before it was really popular, or?
Yeah, but so we started that about probably now it was about 8 years ago or so. So yeah, I ran that for about 5 years, and then as soon as I started crypto, so I had that, and I had a gym, a calisthenics gym, where I taught people how to do handstands, how to do muscle ups, all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
That's it. But when I get into crypto, all that fell away. But look, back to the crypto journey. It's funny that we're coming back to. Almost I'm nearly back to the part where, the 4 year cycle kind of thing. The bit that I missed out on, I got in at the top. I came into crypto at the top of the last bull run. So I really experienced I've experienced a few weeks of up, and then I've experienced 3 years of down.
Yeah, I've been in the exact same position. I think I must have gotten it at a similar time to you. It was just before everything really blew up. And I saw it ride for like a few weeks, and then I just saw it dump for the next few years. So I've been in the same position. Yeah. So yeah, what were your thoughts when you first got into crypto? What kind of led you into it?
So it was the same as a lot of people, I'm sure, and it's going to be the same as a lot of people soon. One of your close friends says you need to buy this coin. Simple as that, like everybody. And then I've got a bit of an obsessive personality, like with the calisthenics, with the business, but all different businesses. And now with crypto, it just once I get in and seen, one, the money that could be made, and two, just how awesome some of the DeFi systems and all, it blew my mind. It was, in fairness, one of the things that one of the first DeFi projects that I got into. I can't even think of it. I can't think back what the name was. I think it might have been called MIM, Magical Internet Money. And I swear to God, and literally people are trading hundreds of thousands of dollars through this thing, and it looks like Flappy Bird game or something like that, like from the 70s. It was so
really
bad. The DApp was just designed to be so crap, and it was all old pixel graphics, and just that was like, oh my God, this is what the world is like. The people are trading hundreds of thousands of dollars every day through a website called Magical Internet Money with with pixelated graphics. That whenever that's you know, there was a lot more to it than other good coins that I've seen, but just the fact that that was happening in the world, I was like, I've got to learn about this, and it just blew from there. So I get into at that time. I think I was you kind of go. I was lucky. I felt lucky at the time. Now I'm not so sure if it was or not, but I found Richard Hart videos on YouTube, and all the stuff that Richard Hart used to talk about in his live streams. It's really unfortunate that he's not banging out content anymore because his content was awesome. You know, even a lot of us in the Titan X ecosystem, a lot of us found our way here from watching Richard Hart videos. All the stuff he talked about. You know, a lot of the same values that we all like, you know, and preached about things like self custody and no middleman and all this kind of stuff, and fairness, decentralization. There's arguments to be had on all those points, but look, we're all here because of a lot of the things that he was saying at that time. And I didn't get big into Hex, but whenever he was talking about launching Pulse Chain, I'd only been in crypto a few months, and a sacrifice for Pulse Chain, sacrifice for Pulse X. And then the bear market hit. And when the bear market hit, and we were waiting on Pulse Chain, and then that's whenever I actually joined Jake's Mastermind. I'd mentioned on a stream a couple of days ago that in that period in 2022, after I'd been in maybe a year, I was kind of a little bit lost. I'd invested in a few things. Most of the things that the coins that I held were going down, and I didn't really know where to go, where to look. And that was whenever I joined Jake's Mastermind. And then we all kind of come up with strategies, and we kind of then from there got a little bit of focus, had a little bit of a plan. But that's what I'm saying. Finding Richard Hart at that stage, investing in Pulse Chain, Pulse X, all that kind of stuff, that has not been very profitable. Anybody that's in there will tell you that.
But it was because the adoption was absolutely insane though for the sacrifice, right? What was it like back then, and what was the kind of atmosphere?
Everybody was buzzing. You know, you imagine when he did the raises, the sacrifice raises for Hex or for Pulse and Pulse X, Hex was all-time highs kind of thing. Everybody was the Hexicans were I don't even know it. They were all, there was so many millionaires, everybody was, Hex was 55 cents. People that get in, it started off maybe even 4 zeros and a 5 or something crazy like that. Maybe not quite as low as that, but people, 10,000 X, whatever that is. And people had rode a lot of those gains all the way up, So at that stage, Richard Hart was, even Hex was a top 10 coin. I think it might have made it as high as like number 7 or something. It was a top 10 coin by market cap. And love him or hate him, he was if you loved him, he was winning the game big time. So yes, the sentiment in the Hex and Pulse Chain community was that we were going to win the future. The future was all us, and we were going to take over everything.
Yeah, what a crazy time to get into like crypto, when that must have literally, because I mean, I hear about Hex and what it used to be, but actually being there and seeing, everyone making insane gains.
Well, I didn't. I wish I'd have been 6 months earlier.
But entering into that environment when all that's going on, and I do see why he had so much traction behind him, because Hex was huge, and then Pulse Chain was kind of the following on from Hex. That was how it was kind of advertised, right?
Do you know what I'd love to do though, if I had time? I would love to actually go back. Have you watched any of his stuff before? Have you?
I've seen clips here and there because, like you say, a lot of people in Titan X really like him.
I'd love to go back and actually dig out 5 or 6 Richard Hart videos and say, watch these ones that I remember, and listen to what the guy was saying. He was fucking light years ahead of everybody. All these YouTube, you come into crypto and you were new, and you were listening to all the regular guys with the faces on YouTube. And Richard Hart was just preaching and talking about stuff that was completely different to what they were all saying. And a lot of it made a hell of a lot of sense. That's why I've always held out hope for Pulse Chain. A lot of people sold all their bags, cleared off. I decided that that's the whole part. There was a time the strap line for Pulse Wars, the future of our ecosystem is in our hands. It's exactly the same as Titan X. At the minute, everybody's standing up and doing their bit for Titan X. We're working together. We're doing this. We're doing that. Builders are building together. I had the same ethos for Pulse Chain and Pulse Wars even before Titan X was released. So that's the kind of person that I am, and that's kind of where the idea for this game came from. Pulse Chain hasn't unfortunately been what it was supposed to be yet, but I do believe that it
Still
will
time.
be. Yeah,
Yeah, still time. Yeah,
there's still plenty of
because
time.
yeah, so the Richard Hart court case was today, and I think we should cover post. Let's cover post wars first, and then we can get into your opinions on everything that's going on currently. So, do you want to share your screen, and we can quickly run
Yep,
through the white
2
paper,
seconds. Yeah.
and you can just kind of explain from a new user coming in what it's going to be like, and obviously tomorrow is the cutoff, right?
Yes, so the mint phase has been live for a long time. What happened with Pulse Chain and Pulse Wars was that we launched the mint in March, and pretty much the chain kind of died after the game was launched.
The worst timing, yeah.
Yeah, the timing was pretty bad. If I could
Yeah.
even share the chart, it literally pumped this time last year. It literally pumped from January to March. I launched at the end of March, and it went down 70% since. So yeah, it was bad timing. So we put the game was getting built. We kind of put it on hold for a while, just waiting for Pulse Chain to have a bit of a turnaround, which just got longer and longer and longer. So the mint did launch a long time ago. We at the very start there was about 500 or so NFTs minted on the first day, and even now we only have about 1,000 that are going to start the game tomorrow. So Pulse Wars. A little bit behind. I was explaining to you about Pulse Chain. Pulse Chain at the time had loads of DeFi apps being built on it. It kind of had everything going. NFT communities, meme communities, loads of really good DeFi projects. But for me, it didn't have any good games that kind of tied the whole community together. So this Pulse Wars was built for the community. There's all the small details in it. Like the way the NFTs play each other, the designs of the NFTs, it was all built around characters within Pulse Wars or within Pulse Chain and the Hex ecosystem. And it was really and again, all the coins that are in the game were all really focused on bringing the whole community together. So there's like, if you imagine to talk about the kingdoms in Titan X, in Pulse Chain, there's probably, there's probably 20 sub communities, and the coins and the games and the NFTs within Pulse Wars kind of tried to bring everybody together into one place to stop everybody bickering with each other at the time.
Yeah, because the user base for Pulse Chain is huge. Like it did get a huge amount of adoption, and there are loads of holders out there. So this idea, was it kind of how, when you say to stop the bickering, was there any negativity towards each other?
Okay, and this is exactly the biggest problem. Is I was in building this and being part of the community, I was dealing with everyone in the ecosystem, NFT, all the different NFT founders, all the different coin founders, and publicly they were all fighting with each other, and they were saying, people be saying things about each other, and I go, well, I know that guy, and he's fucking dead on, and I know that guy, and he's been nothing but good to me. So I was friends with everybody. And everybody was fighting with each other. So I thought, you know what? I'll build something that just that tries to unite everybody. It hasn't quite panned out that way, but that was the intention of the build and what the game was designed to do. So look, as I say, there was no games. And what I tried to do was build a game that I thought everybody could have fun playing. Really, really simple, easy to play. And what I did was I took some of the knowledge that I had from running online competitions and kind of brought this back. And what I tried to create, or what I have created, is a crypto fantasy league. So if you imagine you're into football and you play your fantasy league, you pick your players and you make certain moves and you go up and down the table. In this game, in Pulse Wars, you will mint an NFT, and when in that NFT, you will get a portfolio of crypto coins. And in the game, you manage those coins. And if you imagine, your position in the league is dictated by the value of the portfolio that you're managing. So if you're managing your portfolio and you make a few good trades, you move up the leaderboard. If you suck and you make a few bad trades, you go down the leaderboard. And what happens is it plays over rounds. So every 20 days, the bottom half of the table get eliminated. So you work through. The idea was 14 rounds over 280 days. And then each time you half. You start off with 16,000 entrants. We've only got 1,000, but you start off with 16,384 entries. And at the end of 14 rounds, there's only one left. So the sale of NFTs, whenever you sell an NFT, the majority of the funds, 65% went into the prize pool for the game. and then
Okay.
the overall prize pool, would be like a kind of like a poker style payout system. So the further you got, the more there would, like the first few rounds there'd be no payouts, and then once you got the around about 7 or 8, then you would start to win prizes, and each round you went through, then the kind of prize you would win would double.
Yeah, yeah. I do remember because I remember way back you announced something similar on Titan X. And I remember you running through, yeah, exactly what you've just said. And this whole, yeah, the game system is basically like you're a trader that you enter and you just have to outperform everyone. And then
So
elimination rounds.
it's funny you say that, because the first idea for Blaze, this like the second project we were going to launch, was going to be Blaze. It was going to be Titan Wars by the Blaze team, and that was to do with the Diamond Hand Club and all that. But we had to go away from that. It doesn't fit with what we were trying to do at that time. But we actually did a stream with Crypto Kindness, where we actually, because that was built. It's funny how some things actually get built in the background and don't get used. But yeah, those NFTs for that they'll get used in the future by the Blaze team. We'll have a plan for that. But yeah, we were ready to go with it. And then at the time, prize pool. See, it's all about the prize pool, Callum. So for Pulse Wars, I was trying to sell all 16,384 NFTs, and at the price at that and value at that stage, we would end up with like a 10 billion Pulse prize pool, and that was worth over $1 million. Now the idea was to collect $1 million now at the bottom of the market, and it runs at 100x, and you have $100 million prize pool. That's always been the goal. That's always been the goal. So even selling 500 odd NFTs for Pulse Wars, we had about, at that stage, whenever we got to about 1,000 NFTs, the prize pool was up at one stage at about even back then about 100 grand, and it's went down to 30 at the minute. But you imagine it starts going the other way again. This is the thing that people aren't realizing yet. The Pulse Wars is slow at the minute, but once Pulse Chain starts to pick up, and that price starts to run up a little bit, and the prize pool starts to grow, and there's a very, very, at the minute, there's a very, very small amount of people that will have access to win that money. And that pool of people gets smaller and smaller as the prize pool and the price pumps and goes up and up and up. Now, who knows whether that will happen? But that's the whole premise behind the game.
That's a really, really good point, because like you said, if Richard Heart, I know he's got his stuff going on now, but if there's traction and we go into a bull market for Pulse Chain, this could get really, really interesting.
Even Pulse Chain at the minute, Pulse Chain goes back to sacrifice price. We'll have 100 grand already in the prize pool. That's without selling any more NFTs. And there's only 1,000 people that will play that. After the first 4 weeks, that number of NFTs will get halved, so there'll only be 500 people left in the game. Now, part of the reason it was delayed, Pulse Wars was supposed to be sell them all and start the game, but why it's taken so long is we had to continually make changes so people can join in as we go through the rounds, but you pay more money as we go. So as the prize pool grows, and as you get closer to the prize rounds, the prize pools, you'll have to pay more to enter the game. So we're not, even though we've only got 1,000 entries at the minute, we can still accept up to 16,000 sales of NFTs to come into the game. And once Pulse Chain starts moving, once it starts thriving, this game was always designed to be a long-term play. When I say long-term, it will reach its peak in the middle of next year, the middle of 2025. So there's a long way to go. And that's why I've decided, you know what, don't delay anymore. Get the game out, get people playing, because whenever people can see the game in action, when they can see people, playing with their portfolios, doing their moves, then it will help people really see the game in action. Because although it's so simple at its core, you buy an NFT, you manage the portfolio, and you last as long as you can. That's all it is. It's quite, people tend to think trading NFTs is really complicated. How we've made this thing really simple for everybody to play is that even if you have an NFT, you can only do 2 trades per round. Okay. So it's a trading game, but so you start off with 10,000 fictional DAI. if the first round here lasts 4 weeks, in that 4 weeks you can only do 2 trades.
Okay.
So it's
So you
not
have to
something.
think. Yeah, you really need to think about what to do.
You've got to make a good move or don't do anything at all.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah.
Because again with that, then we wanted people trading NFTs. If they see a good one on the market, they can go and buy one rather than trying to make trades. What I didn't want to do with this was create a game that people need to sit and manage all the time. You know what it's like trying to manage your portfolio. You know, especially if you're trading, if you're doing this, doing that. There's a million things to do. If you enter into Pulse Wars or X Wars, whenever it comes, you will not need. You can literally go back and check it once a week. You know, you can have it in the background and not worry.
You want it to be a game. You don't want it to be like a whole stressful. I mean, it's probably going to get quite stressful for people when it gets through to the bigger payouts because there's going to be probably quite a lot of money on the line. So did you say by mid next year is when it's completely finished? It does the last round and there's the grand winner. Okay, yeah. Wow, yeah, it's going to be interesting then to see, like you were saying, how much that prize pool is going to be worth.
Well, we'll do again. We're going to be doing the same on X Wars, which is going to use all Titan X coins. So going to be the same thing over there. Can you bring my screen up? Can you?
Yeah, sure.
So this is the website. You can go here, pulsewars.io. Gives you
really nice looking website, by the way.
Gives you a brief overview. Yeah, it gives you a brief overview. Look, it's as simple as that. Mint your NFT, select your portfolio, and progress to win. In the game, there are 7 different classes of NFTs. So there's 7 different types of NFT. When you mint, you can get one of 7 different types. Really, what we've got is there's a couple. It's all made up of a couple of different functions within the game. So you will either get pulse chain coins, what we call legacy coins, which are all non-pulse chain coins. Titan X is actually in there. So you'll get pulse chain coins, legacy coins, or you'll get a mix of the two. You will get either 1 coin in your portfolio, 2 coins in your portfolio, or 4 coins in your portfolio. And then some of them will get 2 trades per round. And then the founders, which are the strongest, get 8 trades per round.
Okay.
And then we have a little extra thing called the boost function, where a couple of the types of NFTs can use this little boost function to like spin the wheel and boost their portfolio by 1, 2, 5, or 10%. And that's it. That's all the functions there is in the game. So, but it kind of covers, you want to get an NFT that like a founder where you get 8 trades per round, where you get the boost function, where you get to play with all 40 coins in the game, or you get a maxi NFT, which gets 1 coin and holds that 1 coin from the start to the finish.
Okay.
Start to the finish.
Is that choosable for the 1 coin, or is that
nope?
Coin
that'll be luck what you get. So again, I'll run through a couple of things. So when you mint an NFT, like a maxi, doesn't get to choose its coin. It gets 1 coin, and you don't get to choose what it is. We'll select it randomly from the list of 20 pulse chain coins, and then there's a couple of the types where you do get to choose the coins that you want. So yeah, there's just a nice variety of everything. But when you mint, like any NFT mint, you don't know what you're going to get. So,
yeah, that's going to be interesting. So there's kind of luck to play as well, but that increases. Yeah, but you can transfer these NFTs, can't you?
Yeah.
Yep. So if you get quite lucky with a really good NFT, it could. I mean, game theory wise, you could think, okay, who else wants this? If you get Titan X, that's going to be profitable.
Okay, so game theory wise, the idea was that as well, you can always kind of cash out. So you're playing through Pulse Wars. And all right, here was the original pitch when we got the 10 sold all the NFTs. We have a 10 billion Pulse prize pool at sacrifice price. That's worth 350 grand. So that's for the top prize. That's only the first place. It'll pay out the top 500 NFTs, but the top prize is $350,000. Pulse Chain does a 10x. The top prize is $3.5 million. Now, think about the game theory. Whenever you get down to the quarterfinals or, even the last 32, if there's 32 people left in the game, there's a 1 in 32 chance that you're going to win $3.5 million. What does a DGen pay for an NFT that might potentially win $3.5 million? And what if somebody decides that they can't take the stress anymore? They just want to cash out and sell that NFT and be done with it. So there's a lot of game theory in behind it. It's a game at the end of the day. It's so basic, But whenever, and this is why people are sleeping on it, because it's not sexy at the minute. It doesn't have big prize pools. It's not getting all the attention. But just wait and see 3-4 months down the line, especially with exporters as well. Whenever the prize pools get fat and juicy, so you can mint an NFT now for $50, $50 for an NFT. Tomorrow the price doubles. So you'll be paying $100 from there on. So tomorrow it goes up to 2 million pulse for an NFT. And whenever we get, because the time will, well, no, not financial advice, but I do believe the time will come. Pulse Chain is not dead. There will be a time whenever that starts to run as well. And at that stage, people will be paying, you get, if we're in the prize pools, people could be paying $300-400 for an NFT to enter the game. So that's why people are sleeping at the minute. So yeah,
it's almost interesting though, because having a smaller user base to start, and then if you're bullish on where it's going, there's going to be a lot less NFTs, but people can buy in. So how more expensive does it get for people that go in from the first round to maybe the second round?
It's probably going to nearly double every round from here.
Every round. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's going to get really expensive.
It'll get really expensive really quick. And the idea behind that is too that you're going to be coming into the game closer to the prize pools after we've already eliminated a lot of people. And the idea by having the price higher, it means you add a hell of a lot more economic energy into that prize pool. So people coming in paying twice, you have to pay twice the price in. You have to sell half the NFTs to boost the prize pools the same amount.
Yeah. So, I mean, how many rounds are there then?
At the minute, okay. So I wonder. There was originally designed to be 14. So 16,000 went down to 8,000, down to 4,000. We're actually starting. There's 10 rounds. At the minute, there's going to be 10 rounds. So we're starting with about 1,000 NFTs. After the first 4 weeks, that's going to go down to only 500 players. So
nice. And then it's from there, it's just going to get smaller and smaller.
It's going to get smaller and smaller unless people do kind of catch on and start to buy those NFTs, stack up those NFTs.
But that's so expensive.
Yeah, but if we double the price, we will probably make less available because we don't need to sell that many more. But again, we'll see what happens. This might take a few months to really kick off. So we'll just see the way it pans out over the next month or two. But we just had to get the thing started to let people see what was going on, because I think it's kind of I wouldn't say a hard sell, but there's a lot to it, and it's difficult to explain it all. And when there's no hype on Pulse Chain, it was pretty, pretty grim.
No, I mean, the concept behind it is awesome. But I think, when people start seeing it play out and, seeing how it actually works, I think it's going to hopefully bring in more interest. Because, I mean, it's the same with anything. Until you launch a project, there's always more hype after launch, isn't there? So, this is going to be very interesting.
Yeah. So
feel free to run through.
There's a little infographic there. It just kind of takes you through. Mint your NFT, you'll get one of the 7 different classes. You select your coins, and you select your coins. Just choose your portfolio. Basically, you enter the league and you go as far as you can. So there's other things built in. Obviously, we didn't want people who get eliminated. We wanted to have other things for them to do. So we do have other games that we have. I've already built another game that can run every week. So there's always something to do with the NFT. Now, at the minute, we need to get some more funds coming in to really kick that off. But there's it's fucking crazy, man, how much I built into this and how little traction it has. So let me just go back a second.
Just how complex this is. It's insane. I mean, it makes sense if you've been working on it for over a year, because there's a lot of different levels to this. This is one of the most complex. I mean,
exactly. There's so much detail in behind it, and I'm going to explain some of this stuff to you as a builder. Do you see how much effort went into it? So we have there's 10,000 Pulse Wars NFTs, which just selects it for you randomly. But what we also did was you can mint a citizen. Now, what is a citizen? So in Pulse Chain, there is a thriving, well, it's kind of thriving. They're struggling now, but there was a thriving NFT community. So, and I collaborated with 27 other NFT creators to include their NFTs in the game. So if you wanted, if you held an NFT from Pulse Chain, you can use your NFT to mint a special citizen for the game. And what a citizen got was the ability to choose their own coins in the game. So unless you got of 16,000 NFTs, there was only 200 founders. The founders are the strongest in the game. They get to choose their own coins. They get to use all the coins in the game. Nobody else gets to choose their coins except the citizen. So if you held one of these NFTs, you wouldn't even be familiar with these. But these were kind of some of the biggest NFT collections on Pulse Chain. So if you had, for talk's sake, a Yoblin, you were holding a Yoblin, you could use your Yoblin to mint yourself a citizen, and that would give you the boost in the game to be able to choose your own coins at the start.
Wow, that is such a cool concept. That's
the stuff I've built into this game is fucking awesome. It's so underloved for what it is.
Yeah. How did you just reach out to all the founders of these?
Yeah, man. You imagine how hard it was for me to get 27 other founders to agree and collaborate. Now, what they also get is they get a kickback from every one of their NFTs that was used in the game to mint. They got a little kickback, a little small percentage back paid directly to them from the mint. Then, if they created every citizen that was minted using one of their NFTs, any secondary market sales would go not to me, but would go to the creator of the original NFT.
Nice.
So
yeah.
You talk about communities and builders working together. I was doing this shit long before Titan X even kicked off. And honestly, nobody really cared.
Wait, so you entered the mastermind, and then you must have started working on this.
No, I started working on this September last. It was just an idea. September last year, and we got this thing out. It was all ready. It was all kind of ready to go in March. And then with the way Pulse Chain went, we had to start making changes because people couldn't read. Now people can join in as you go along. Here's another thing. We built into it that people could, if you got eliminated in round one, because I changed the rules on the original minters, I wanted to give something back to them. So I had to build in this thing where they can, if you've minted way back at the start, if you get eliminated in round one, you can pay 1 million pulse to get back in.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Because if you've changed the rules slightly, that's probably good. And I mean, that's good anyway.
Yeah, it's good for them.
Yeah.
So and again, if they want to come back into the game, then it gets a little bit more funds and gives them a good deal to get back into the game again. And there was everybody got plenty of opportunity. There was the cutoff date for that whitelist to mint was, it was I talked about it every week for about 3 months. So it was well publicized that we were making the changes, and that's what we're doing to give those people a little bit of a benefit. So just that was something. All those NFT collections that you can use and getting the kickback to all the original NFT creators was something that we built in. So
is it basically they sacrificed their NFT from?
No, not even. Just you just held it. If you held it, you could use it to prove basically that if you held it, you just got this little bonus. The reason we kept them separate is so somebody might want to sell their original NFT. If you wouldn't want to do anything to affect the original NFT. If it was something that was yield bearing, they might want to hold on to it for a long time. Whereas if they do well with their citizen in the Pulse Wars game, they might want to sell that for a quick profit. So the two had to be kept separate. So all it is was used to confirm that yes, you hold one of these NFTs, that you can use it to get this little bonus within the game.
That's even better. They get to keep both and get Where did you see more adoption? Did you see more just through normal minting or more through the citizen?
Well, there's the real numbers. There was only 125 citizens minted and 850 of the Pulse Wars NFTs. People were sleeping in on minting citizens. I think people just like the easy thing. Go and hit the button. When you're minting a citizen, you have to go and find your original token ID and put it in. Not complicated, but it had two or three more steps than just clicking mint on the Pulse Wars NFTs.
Yeah. Wow, that is such a cool concept that you've got that in. Yeah, that must have taken. I mean, fair enough. That must have taken a while.
I worked my ass off for this game. I really did. And again, I didn't at this stage. Most of the teams I'm working with have a few people working. I just did it all. I was busy doing all this by myself. I loved it, and I really do love this concept, and I hope that it will get the support it deserves eventually. But I really hope that when we go with X-Wars, people will really see how cool the concept can be.
100%. I definitely agree. Yeah, because I think, like you were saying before, some people may be unsure about Pulse Chain still. I mean, when it picks up, this will get a lot of traction. But for Titan X, like there is traction there. So yeah, I'm excited for that as well. But and will that be similar? I mean, we'll get into it more later, but that's going to be similar to this concept, basically.
Yes, but we're building more of a protocol around XWars, so that it kind of helps. It benefits again, like everything, trying to benefit the ecosystem as well. And there'll be a bit more of a protocol around it. The actual game part will be pretty much exactly like this, but built for Titan X.
That could be huge. That could actually be huge.
The concept's exactly the same. You know, you will mint an NFT. Look at this. I'll give you a wee quick glimpse of one.
Ooh, that is it cool. Oh man, all the nice.
So the work's going in. The work is going in. Yeah, it's in the works. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is This is I could send the NFT mint for XWars Live next week. But I'm not. Nice. I've got there's time at hand anyway. But
yeah, definitely. Yeah, run us through. Tell us. Yeah.
So okay. So you mint your NFT, you mint your Pulse Wars NFT, or you mint your Citizen. Then it'll be kind of random. You get one of the 7 classes. When you get them, you just you manage your NFT. We'll actually flick in the so this is the DApp. So once you've minted a few Pulse Wars NFTs, at the minute. So what's happening tomorrow? There will be 48 hours of pre-game. So whenever you originally mint, everybody gets 10,000 fictional DAI. And you start off with that 10,000 DAI, and that's where you begin. So if I go into my NFTs, I had we've got 48 hours of pre-game, and that's where you can kind of select your coins, or either claim your portfolio or select your coins, depending on what type of NFT you have. And then you have 48 hours to allocate the 10,000 DAI. You can play around. You can make you can put, you can allocate the 10,000 across the coins any way you want. And you can change that as much as you want until 3 p.m. on Sunday. And that's when round 1 starts. And that's when we're into the full game.
Okay, yeah. So it kind of gives people familiar with how it works and what it's actually going to be like before it actually starts.
This is a Pulsican. So we're running a test game at the minute. This Pulsican, I got eliminated, and I can rebuy in with it. So a Pulsican, we'll do it live here now. So a Pulsican, I know it says native here, but that's just the testnet doesn't show the right data. This is a Pulsican class NFT. So what it gets is 4 Pulse Chain coins, but you can't pick what you're getting. So it's kind of luck of the draw. So if I click claim, I'll claim the portfolio here and see. So you just minted an NFT. You get a Pulsican. You'll be sitting here claiming your portfolio, and it'll just be completely random what you get.
Ooh, does that show up now, or that's only when it starts?
Yeah, no, it'll show up. This shows up in pregame. So it shows up in pregame, and then you have 48 hours to play around and allocate the 10,000 DAI. So it's given me 9-inch, HOA, Spark, and Watt. You won't know what those are, most of those coins probably, but they're 4. So there's 20 Pulse Chain coins, and there's 20 what we call legacy coins. So as a Pulsican, it's got 4. It's received 4 Pulse Chain.
Is that a decent draw, or is that not that good?
9-inch could do well. It's a DEX coin, could do well. HOA is a pretty big meme coin. Spark could do. Yeah, I mean, Watt's kind of slow at the minute, but these are big DeFi protocols that just don't have traffic through them at the minute.
Yeah, and just imagine when it picks up. That's when that's going to be really interesting to see.
So go ahead, sorry.
Just if everything starts pumping, you're not that's gonna get really, really hectic.
Okay, so then you go into the trade screen. So the 10,000 DAI shows up. The rank and your trades turn up whenever the game starts. Okay. So everybody starts off in the pre-game. You won't have a rank, and what it does is it puts the 10,000 across all 4 coins equally. So it splits 2.5 grand over each of the 4 coins, 25%. And then down here, it'll show you your 4 coins, and you can't, when you get the 4 coins at the start, you can't change the coins, but you can change the ratios. So if I click 9-inch, this is the balance of 9-inch that I have. If I put the max in and say I don't want to sell them all, I can sell a portion of them.
Okay.
Sell. And then put that, say you don't want to hold it, or you want to hold a small portion. You can sell a portion of the 9-inch and put it in. You can go heavier into one of your other coins. So say you've got this portfolio, you don't really like 9-inch. you could sell, you could sell 20% of the 9-inch, sell 20% of the HOA, and put that 40% added into what? So you start the game with your portfolio really heavily allocated to the coin that you prefer, or you just do nothing at all.
Okay. And is that only 2 transactions, or is that as many as you want to get it set up?
In the pre-game, you can do as many as you want. So you can decide,
Wow.
go, right, okay, I've got 48 hours here that HOA is looking good, and then it tanks on you before the game starts. You can come back
Yeah.
and quickly change it up,
And you said some of them will get Titan X on as a
Well,
coin.
yeah, we'll go back and look at it. So that's the gist of when you're doing pre-game. Then when the game goes live, your rank comes up. It starts to track the real market value. So all the market values are, we've got your 24-hour chart here, your 7-day chart, and your 30-day chart for each coin. So if I click here, go into HOA, it'll change. It'll show me the HOA chart. That's just a quick view with the build that with. This is all built by us. Like this is all our.
Oh, this looks so good.
Yeah.
This looks like a professional. Like
if you want to,
really good.
If you need to up your game a wee bit, you can click there through and go through the deck screener, straight to deck screener, and check that chart on deck screener where you can do all your proper technical analysis and shit.
Yeah.
So.
Man, yeah. I wonder how this is going to play. I wonder, like, it'll be interesting to see who gets to the final rounds. Like, is it going to be people who are really into the technical analysis, or are there going to be someone that just apes into one coin and just carries out? There's a lot going behind this. This is really, really cool. This is really thought out as well.
Of course it is. Awesome. It's fucking epic. It really is epic. It's so underloved for what it is. So like that's, as I say, whenever the round starts, then that gets locked in. This is a Pulsican, your rank will come up. You'll only have 2 trades.
So is that the rank between all the NFTs, or is that just okay? And that's kind of live, and that switches. So it's like a live leaderboard.
I'll just show you quickly the previous round. So see winners. Well, it tells you here. So we're running a test round. If I go back, actually, previous round. So the round 1, we started off with 48 NFTs.
Yeah.
And you can come in and you can have a look and see the portfolio values at the time. So rank 1, he'd made $300 in that day or two. And if you're playing, you can click in here and see your NFT. So that I only had 2 that actually, when it says my NFTs, these are the ones that made the cut. So in round 1, there was 48 entrants, and you had to be in the top 24 to progress. So out of the 7 that I had minted, only 2 progressed. So these were the 2 that won. And as you get to the prize rounds, your rewards will pop up in here. So whenever you have money to claim, you click claim here, and it will. So at any stage, you can come back to the game. Say you were playing, you go in and you come back after a while. You go, fuck here, round 2. Did I have any? How did I get in round 2? Go in and click in, and if it's a reward round, you'll be able to click there and claim your prize for that round.
Nice. So that is really cool. Yeah, and for each NFT, you can customize it how you want with the allocation. Before.
Yes, so you've seen that. I'm going to actually go in and claim. So a founder is the strongest in the game, right? They can choose from all 40 coins in the game. So they can trade Pulse Chain coins and Ethereum and Legacy coins. They get 8 trades per round, and they also get to use the boost function.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can do a lot. So we'll go in and have a look at the founder.
Like that's basically a bonus, right? What you were talking about before, like a 5%, 10% bonus on.
No, the boost is the boost stat. Yeah. So you can see here as well in this test game we're running. There's always countdowns everywhere. So there's a countdown. There's 6 hours left to do your pre-game trades. So whenever we get to 3 p.m. tomorrow, that will say whenever we get to 3 p.m. tomorrow in the real game, that'll come up there'll be a 48-hour countdown to do all your trades. So look, if I click in here, it says at the top here, only founders and citizens can choose their coins. So because this is a founder, we can pick our 4 coins. So this will show us all 40 in the game. So Titan X is there on the Ethereum. Nice. So we'll choose Titan X. Just because we love Donald Trump, we'll pick Trump.
Nice. You know what? That could be a big play for whatever happens in November. Yeah. That could be a huge play.
What have we got? Mafia. I like Mafia over on Pulse Chain. In fact, we'll go for PTGC since it's kind of the coin of the moment over on Pulse Chain. And PDAI, we'll pick it just as a wild card. Shrey's in the chat. So because Shrey's in the chat, we'll have to pick PDAI. I don't know if you know anything about PDAI, do you?
Not too much. I've heard a lot about it.
just as a basic concept, whenever Richard Hart forked all the coins across, they were all worth nothing. So die got forked. So all the die that existed got forked over onto Pulse Chain at 0 value. So there's a narrative to say get P die to $1. So it started off at like fucking, I don't know, 8 zeros and a 1, and it's on the road to $1.
Wait, so it isn't? I thought it was like a stable. Is it not a stable coin? It's
no. It's just
okay.
it's a coin that got copied. It's one of the copied coins. That got so much adoption that there's a possibility that it will get the $1, making people thousands and thousands of X's.
Yeah, that could be a good one to have in here then. That could be a really good one to have.
It's there, right? Okay, so I've picked my 4 coins, and when you pick them, they're locked in to start. You can't keep changing them. You can change them, then you're in the game. So during pre-game, you can change their allocations, but you can't keep changing what coins you've picked. So if I claim portfolio, go in. That'll lock those 4 coins in. Oh, fuck. What? I didn't select them. I went back to... What happened there?
I think it just switched.
Oh, it switched back. It switched back after I clicked.
Yeah.
Fucking shit myself there.
Is this an actual NFT or is this all testnet?
This is testnet, but it's actually... This is on mainnet. This is a test version on mainnet. So,
so it wasn't actually a real founder's NFT that you just...
No. So
okay.
the game isn't live yet.
Yeah. Man, this is really, really... So what was your decision behind did you say 40 coins that you put in?
Yeah, okay. So again, talking about community engagement, if you imagine there's, like I said, there's probably 10 more big sub-communities in Pulse Chain, and their coins are picked. There's the 5 Richard Hart coins, and then there's coins from each sub-community. So I didn't want it to be focused on, a small subset. I wanted to make sure that every part of the community, every part of the ecosystem was included in the game. That's why I've got a spread of it. Took to get. I didn't want to be choosing every coin out there, so I had to cap it somewhere. So we went with 20, and just to keep it at that. Pulse Chain. Look, it's still trying to confirm the transaction, taking forever.
No worries. Yeah, this is going to be really interesting, the game mechanics behind it, because someone with one of the lower level NFTs that just get randomized could just win.
All right, man. So, yeah, okay. So 2 things on that. The game was designed to be that way. You don't need to be continually trading. You can literally claim it. In fact, if you buy an NFT and don't even come back, everything gets automated for you every round. All your allocations get done. You get entered into the game. You progress. It does everything for you every round if you decide to do nothing.
Yeah. So that might be a better strategy than trading.
Exactly.
A lot of people aren't that good at trading.
So whenever I was designing the 7 classes of NFT, I wanted to give everybody different. Why is that taking so long? It's so annoying. The design, you try to create some that there was no you couldn't do anything, and some where you could do loads. And my opinion was that the maxis and the natives that get 1 coin would be the weakest in the game. That people wouldn't want those. But we've ran 2 kind of in-depth, long test games, and both times it's been a 1 coin portfolio that's won the game.
Wow.
So
yeah.
I know
that is
crazy.
Oh man, yeah. Was that from? Did they trade at all, or was it literally buying and hold? Like
no, just hold. So because they only get 1 coin, you get the boost function. And I'm just going to click back, and it's still trying to complete the transaction on Pulse Chain. Let me see if I can speed it up a bit. I can't even speed it up anymore. It's already sped up to the max. But yeah, no, you get to do the boost function. So if you have a 1 coin portfolio, every round you can take a chance to boost once.
Is that kind of like leverage? So if it went down a certain amount, you'd get 10% extra.
So whatever the value of it is at that time. So say you've been playing round 1 and you're holding Titan X, and it has done like it hasn't moved, and your portfolio is still sitting at 10,000, and you're coming to the end of the round. You can use the boost function, and you're sitting right on the breaking point where you're either going to get relegated or you're going to continue on. You can hit the boost function, and can hit the boost function and boost your portfolio. You get a 10% boost. You're going to boost it by 1,000. Might get you up into back up into the part where you're going to progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still.
That's really interesting that both times you've done. How long did you literally do the
first,
entire game?
The first game had like 500 NFTs in it, and the one that won was a 1 coin. The second time there was only about 100, and again it was a 1 coin portfolio.
Wow, that's I mean, surely there's going to be some good, like, imagine if the Verse or some guy, someone that's good with TA comes on. It'd be interesting to see if they can make the right plays to make it, you know?
Okay, so another thing on that, you know, I started a Pulse Wars show Pulse Wars Power Play show where I talk about this game every Monday night, and I turned up every single week through the whole last 6 months doing this show. Some weeks to 100 people, some weeks to fucking 10 people. But the idea behind that again was for community engagement. You know, whenever this is success and people are coming, we'll have TA we'll take portfolios, we'll look at them, we'll get the likes of the Verse on. I did have a crypto meditator on the Pulse Wars show before. He's a Pulse Chain guy doing TA. Let me see this.
Nice. So you can see other people's, like, whoever's in the #1 rank, you can kind of see how they're doing it as well. Oh, I think we have a guest in. Crypto Kool-Aid, welcome.
Yo, what's going on? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you good.
Excellent. Sorry, I'm late running around after doing my playtest for the game job. So what's going on, guys?
Just running through this lovely Pulse Wars game that we're launching tomorrow. We've got a stuck transaction here that won't go through.
Oh, Lord. Time to put in that custom nonce.
Yeah, I got to cancel there. Sweet. Right, let's try again.
Crypto Kool-Aid, have you had a chance to kind of look at Pulse Wars yet?
A long time ago. Yeah, Ali ran some stuff behind me. God, time traveling, man. What, like 5 months ago?
Since Kool-Aid's on, we'll pick GIF for the portfolio.
I really like the way that this works for the founders. And how many? So there are only 200 that can be minted.
There's only 200. We'll pick Hex as well, since Ricky Hart's in court today. And what else? What else? Trump. A good old mate Trump. Oh, wait, we'll try again. Come on, baby. Aggressive. Confirm. So yes. Sorry, where were we at there? Yeah. Let's see. We'll see.
I think we were just running through what it could be like for people that come in, because obviously there are going to be people that trade. But I was just asking, so you can actually see the portfolios as they run each week. So you could track the #1 ranked kind of person.
At any stage you go, because we're in pre-game for this test net. Yes, you can come in here and see the way it says current round.
Yeah,
you'll be able to see all the you'll be able to see the full leaderboard and what sort of value that's in their portfolio, and then you can click in to you'll be able to go to round 3, see winners list. The guy that was winning, you can click in and see their portfolio. Again, this isn't so it was Holton. That was the previous round. So whatever was Holton Mafia.
Nice,
another 1 coin portfolio taking the lead. You know?
That is really cool. Yeah. I mean, just whilst we wait for this transaction, Crypto Kool-Aid, do you just want to quickly run through your introduction? Because obviously you're heavy into Pulse Chain as well. Can you just quickly run through how you got into it and kind of what led you to build on Titan X and obviously
sure. I mean, God, I was the game dev of Hexaco since the very beginning. Built the first conventions background, RG3's background. I never really had a need to be public on anything because I talked to everyone behind the scenes and I already do my game dev stuff publicly. So it's nice to just have friends and talk rather than worry about notoriety. So I've been in the background this entire time. Got into Titan X day 1. In fact, I called most of the people that I've known on Pulse Chain and from Hexaco, being like, these mechanics will work. It has legs. It just needs time to come into Prosperity and Partition the way that it's doing. Proof of ETH based on, proof of time with T-shares, proof of fair no launch with Zen, and blending of those mechanics. And we started, the journey of Pulsar was pretty insane. And that'll be a story for another day. But I've been behind the scenes with Ali and Bad Sports and Super Shadowy and pretty much everyone since the beginning. We had our nice little underground chat rooms back then, and it was fun. And then we had our audit done, and then we sussed out a couple problems that even the audit didn't catch. So in order to suss out those components, we started to build on Pulse Chain the vectors, pillars, and components that we thought our design would needed. So we started with GIF and PGIF with the creation, not inflation model, developed the permeable tokenomics simulation, not speculation. So if you're going to do something, do it live and see what you can do. And that's the beauty about doing things on Pulse, is it's so cheap that you can actually run experiments, because most people are just deploying stuff on Pulse Chain with a vanilla deployer anyways. So we created the first parity in between ETH and Pulse Chain with iBurn, which actually spun up the icosahedron flywheel on eHex. That was pretty cool to see. But of course, all the components with GiftTech are built as an infrastructure piece on other communities and other tokens that already exist. So if you use the tools are there for you to use. If you don't use the tools, well, I mean, it's not like it's creating a preset launch of tokens from the beginning. So you're building tools on top of someone's infrastructure to make it hyper-deflationary. Then we did noble and stable, and that's where we created the dynamic protocol fee that actually tracks the real-time assets of the assets that you're using for price, as well as this protocol fee. That way it ensures that its buy and burn can stay concurrent as the token raises in price, because what we saw from GIF and PGIF is when we had a static protocol fee and something runs 30,000x, well, 10 Pulse can't really do an effective buy and burn in something that goes meteoric in price. So a lot of experiments, and those experiments led us to come back to actually do the layup on what we have with Pulsar. So that's a little bit about where I came from. Got into crypto in 2017. Been a game dev 19 years. And
that is an insane resume. You just listed words. That was insane. Yeah, your LinkedIn must be just absolutely paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs.
Well, yeah, on the game dev side, after you've last 10 years, you're pretty much in the cool kids club, because it's 2 degrees of basically bacon between anyone. Like my first art director is a current art director for BioShock 4. My first art director is current art director for Diablo 4. My last art director for the before the job I work at now is currently the art director for BioShock 4. My second creative director is currently the VP at Wizards of the Coast, small little company no one's ever heard of. So it's a very small community when you get to that higher tiering of you didn't quit the industry because screw it all.
Yeah. My mind's just been blown. That is, so you've got a huge, I mean, like you said, that's like, I think Pulsar, I would love to have you on stream and we can go through everything, but like you said, that could be a story for another day of how Pulsar was created. So
I just hopped in here to give some love and shout out real quick while I just got off of the job.
No worries. Ali, do you want to, has it gone through the
so again, that was the founder claimed. We've got our Titanx, GIF, Hex, and Trump in the portfolio. So like you can see there, you meant the founder, you can go in, you can select your coins, and then as I say in the pre-game, you can't change the coins, but you can change this 25% allocation, and then before the deadline. So say time remaining 6 hours 43. When that kicks off tomorrow, that countdown I'll start counting down from 48 hours until the beginning of round 1. So if you've got a founder, a Pulsican, a frenemy, a citizen, you can be able to change your portfolio as many times as you want before the round starts. And that's it. You just go back and then you can kind of filter out. If you've got a number of NFTs, you'll be able to filter out and see what ones are in the game. All these ranks come up once round 1 starts. And then from there, you can kind of click in and manage and trade and see, you go back and have a look at where you are on the leaderboards and decide whether you need to make your trades or whether you don't need to make your trades. A little quick one. It was telling you about some of the details, some of the finer details that were built into the game for the community. So this is the trade now where you play the actual main game. There's a community challenge, a weekly challenge where people can trade. You can come in and claim a fictional 1,000 die, and then you trade the Pulse die chart. You get 20 trades per week, and that's again a separate leaderboard. Just for a little bit of fun, where you can trade that to try and win extra prizes every week if you hold the NFTs. So if you think you're a good trader or whatever, you can trade away to your heart's content.
Even if you're trying to learn as well, this could be a good way to learn. This is like a simulation,
And then again, so you're obviously going to have people that don't like to play, don't like to bother. So what we also created was teams. So if you hold an NFT, you can join a team. Now, if you imagine teams, you could join. This is for Pulse, and you won't know what a lot of these things are. But it's like this could be, you could have Dragon team, you could have the Bull team for Inferno.
Yeah,
you could have Pulsar team. So these are 20 sub communities in Pulse Chain, where you can join the team. So there's 200 spots on each team, and the thought behind that is that whenever people are playing this weekly game, if there's a pot of money each week, it gets split between the people in the team. So you don't even need to, if you're a shit trader, but you're on the team of whoever wins the mini game. So say you hold call it Pulsar badge, team badge, and you win a small bit of money for everybody else that holds a Pulsar team badge as well. So there's if you mint an NFT to start playing tomorrow, you can choose one of the teams that you want to join.
That is such a cool concept.
So that'll all come to the X Wars as well. There'll be that'll all be there. So look, we've ran through that's the functions in the game, the schedule at the minute. So the schedule might change depending on if more people come in, yada yada yada. But round 1, at the minute there's 10 rounds, 6 rounds, and then you're into the last 16. So each at the minute will be 4 weeks, and that brings us up to the middle of next year. So we have about 1,000 starting at the minute, and this is how many will progress each round. Again, if we get more sales, more people start to come in, we can tweak these numbers a little bit as we go, and let more people into the game and make the rounds a little bit shorter or longer. Whenever that stuff gets set before each round begins. So yes, it can be changed, but once it begins, it can't be changed once it's set and it's put in motion. Each round is put in motion.
Yeah, because like you said, you've made it a bit shorter just because of participation. But if there were more participation, you could extend it.
Well, the original was 280 days, but it's taken us that long to get to market because Pulse is so dead that we just had to make it a little bit shorter. So that's it. It's as simple as that. Tomorrow, the cutoff to mint for round 1 is 3 p.m. GMT tomorrow. So anybody watching that doesn't have an NFT yet, get over and get minting. app.pulsewars.io. You've heard us talking about the way the prize pools can grow. So $50 a piece at the minute is damn cheap. Especially
the winners so far in the simulations have been the ones that just brought and sat there. So it's kind of like a bullet. It's a really interesting, it's kind of like a lottery, kind of like if you want to play the game, you can. If you want to kind of sit in the background and see, you can as well. I really like, this is such a cool concept and it's so well done. That is one of the best websites I've seen, full stop, for everything. Like that, it competes with Lotus 100%.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Is there anything else you want to share before?
I think that's a good overview of everything. It really is dead easy to play. Once you have a few NFTs, you're in. You can either go mad and you watch it every day, or you can just sit in the background and do nothing. I'll always say, when you're minting NFTs, there's rarity there. There is rarity. The founders there's only 200 of them, so they're harder to get. The maxis, there's only one. I always recommend anybody mints 3. You've got a chance of getting a founder. You get a little bit of a spread, but that's just me. Pick one up and you're good. You pick one up and you're good to go. So no, I think I covered pretty much everything that I wanted to. The community games, once we launch, after maybe the first round is over, all this stuff's built and ready. The community games, the mini trading game, all the team badges, a lot of. If we look at the real site, actually, quickly, let me see. Yeah, I don't want to go in on that. It may not show my other wallet, but if you go to it'll show you. There's already been a couple of the teams. I've already got maybe over 100 people have joined certain particular teams already. So when we launch the game, we're going to wait to get at least round 1 over us. Before we start launching the community games as well. That's
cool. That in the background as well, these other games. If you do get eliminated, there are still these other opportunities that you can kind of enter. This is going to be really, really cool. I'm going to pick up an NFT for sure.
So
this is really cool.
I'll just give people
X Wars, nice.
This is all live. We are still tweaking this because this site only covers what's the original concept for X Wars. It is pretty much Pulse Wars, but it's a little bit simpler, and the overall thing will have much more of a protocol feel to it, where the game is an added extra to what the protocol will do. But this will give you an idea. That's why I've got the orange for Blaze and the Bulls.
Nice.
The concept's pretty much the same. Founders.
The designer behind this, you have got a good designer. These images are really, really well done.
Yeah. And again, the white paper for X Wars is already written, but it only covers the game part. There's none of the protocol part.
Okay.
It just runs through the game, the prize pools. Giveaway. Let's you gotta have a look at this quickly, actually, because this is the beauty of whenever we go. Look at all these coins you'll be able to get in your portfolio.
Nice, yeah.
Titan X, Dragon X, Blaze, Inferno, Helios, Pulsar there. No,
you have to add that in.
We'll have to add that in. But look, we had all these other coins. Now that Titan X ecosystem's kicked off that much, that we won't even need these anymore. We'll be able to fill all 32 coins. That will be all Titan X coins.
Yeah.
Now, if you can go and look at this in the website, the minute this will give you the breakdown of the NFTs and what they will get. What we did here, so everything in X Wars will get 2 coins in the portfolio. We'll get 4 coins, but they'll all start off with 2 that are pre-selected, and the other 2 will be random. So this was a nod to the original 8 coins that were kind of released. So if you mint, this is a maxi, you'll get Baby Dragon X and Helios as your 2 starting coins. This is a power item. You will get Blaze and Inferno. These are Titans. You will get Hyper and Hydra. And these are the founders. You will get Dragon X and Titan X. So those will be your starting, depending on what you mint, they will be your starting coins in X Wars.
Nice. And then it will be the same thing. So if you get the higher NFT, you could pick and choose. Is that going to be?
There's a table in there. We've got the boost function in this game as well. And some of them get more trades than others. Boost functions, how many trades per round. And actually, and then how many coins you get. Actually, this one starts off with just 2 coins. So you'll get the maxis in this game are a 2 coin portfolio. So less managing. But and again,
that is gonna be, and you said by next week you could if you wanted to.
The mint site's already built. The mint site's already built and audited, and the art is done. So
oh my god, yeah. So this is far along. This is awesome. Yeah. I mean, what's
looks good, bud.
Yeah. Can you tell us more about the protocol or token that you said was going to be back in it?
I don't want to go into too much detail yet because we're still fine tuning those details. But Pulse Wars takes in 1 coin per day, or it just takes in Pulse for the prize pool. We have a plan to use 6 different coins as input tokens for the mint, and we'll have some really cool NFT minting strategies that's never been done before.
Nice.
But just a bit of gamification. And again, you can use the likes of Titan X, Dragon X, ETH, E280, Volt, Awesome X. So it's gonna be
nice. This is gonna
be pretty cool.
Wow, and it could be literally around the corner. That is gonna be.
There's no real panic for this one. I think there's a lot of stuff coming in. I'm thinking maybe December. We'll hold off to December for this.
Christmas
gift. If things calm down a little bit, there could be the opportunity to stick the mint out in November. But it's nice having this in the background, kind of ready to go, ready to ship. I'm looking forward to getting into the details of all the other stuff that's with it. But yes, that's away. Pulse Wars is tomorrow at pulsewars.io.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
Get in there.
Yeah. I mean, is there anything else, Ali, you'd like to share before? Because I would love to talk about its current, like we said at the beginning of the stream, Pulse Chain's current kind of situation, what's going on at the moment. Is there anything else you'd like to share about this?
I've covered everything that I wanted to cover. Look at that beautiful NFT there.
Beautiful. That is really cool.
So again,
I mean,
Go ahead.
Sorry, go on.
No, that's it. All good.
I mean, yeah. So obviously today the SEC and Richard Hart have gone to court. I mean, you guys are obviously both really into Postchain. Can you? What are your thoughts at the moment about how it's going to play out and what the bull run kind of has in store?
Well, I think first of all, you have to understand the first day of court is where you establish the stage of what's going to happen.
Okay.
The SEC, I would say, as a lion's share, has not been up to snuff on their regulations, documentation, understanding, and throughput of what is going on in this ecosystem. They're still traveling at a fax machine speed. Richard has hired 11 of the best attorneys, and several of which I do believe were even worked for the SEC. So right now it's going to be about opening arguments to see what actual clause and case they have to move forward with this type of stuff. Because at this point, it's a lot of speculation. The one thing I will be interesting to see is when all this gets laid to bed, as long as that takes, whether Richard will start streaming again. I think that is going to be one of the more voracious parts of what we're going to see happening into the future is just to get RH back. And that will kind of course correct a lot of the things that have been running on Pulsechain, because Pulsechain is a fantastic decentralized, run by the people ecosystem that doesn't have a lot of the turning points that Ethereum does, unless you're in there early or you're in, with larger levels into their ecosystem. Whereas everyone kind of has a universal footing on the L1. However, because it's almost been Wild West without guidance or guys, having RH back will be a very fundamental factor onto repositioning and pointing what's going on with the chain inherently of itself. The chain was launched without even RH streaming about it or talking about it. Besides, here you go.
Yeah.
So what's more interesting is what's going to happen when Pulsechain runs compared to when ETH runs, right? So the X's that you're going to see on Ethereum isn't going to necessarily be the X's that you're going to get on Pulse, just because of the dynamic nature of a Series 3 coin versus a Series 1 coin. But yeah, as far as like opening stages of the court case, it's literally just setting the floor and setting the stage for the play.
Yeah. Before we get into that, hello, we got a new guest, Max Kane. How are you doing today?
All good. How are you?
Good. Yeah. So obviously, do you want to introduce yourself and kind of what's bringing you in today and kind of, how you're involved in this whole situation?
Well, I am fairly new. I am the son of Ali Kane. I'm pretty much behind all the marketing that's going on with Pulse Wars, getting involved in other different projects. I mean, made you a video the other day. And then just as well as it's just been helping out a lot and get more involved in the industry as I go along. So that's kind of where I am at the minute. Like, I'm just gonna keep on.
Ali suckered you in. That's what's going on, isn't it? He's been talking nonstop.
pretty much, yeah. Over the time that he's been involved in the industry, he's just everything I've been hearing. And then about a month ago, I was just like, fuck it, may as well try it here. So
and the content has been awesome. Yeah, all the videos, the stuff that you made for me was amazing. But even on the Pulse Wars account, the videos are really high quality. So good job.
Oh,
yeah, he's been doing a good job at that stuff. So I just got to a point where we've got a couple of people in the team and whatever, but we're even Bad Sports. We're all so busy now that I need a little bit of help. And luckily enough, he's stepped up to give us a bit of a hand. We'll have a community manager, Georgie, as well, who's doing a great job. But yeah, he's been pulling out some fire content stuff from. It's been actually quite good. He stepped up. He's done a far better job than I thought he was going to do.
Yeah. It's really good to see. Okay, yeah. So Crypto Kool-Aid, getting back to you. So obviously this is the first date. How long do you think the court process could kind of take?
I am not a legal person, so I have no absolute idea. Though I do know I've got a bunch of friends out in New York at the time. I think what's more fundamental than just the court case, I mean, look at how long the Ripple case went on, is RH is lawyered up to go to war with this particular thing. I mean, no expenses turned and all of the pedigrees there. What I think more importantly it's going to do, instead of just set the stage for RH or Pulsechain, it's going to set the standard for crypto as a lion's share as a whole, regardless of its Gensler, regardless of all the rest of that. You have to look at what's going to happen with the legal law of play, with the rules and regulations that they are standing and setting up for themselves, regardless of who wins the next election. I think this court case is going to be paramount to either of the political parties that hold power or sway. Just like Supreme Court laws, hold sway over other things till they get overturned. So I think it's going to be pretty pivotal for DeFi for all, not just a Hex or a Pulse system, because what's going to happen with the SEC is going to affect Ethereum, is going to affect Ripple, it's going to affect Solana, it's going to affect Avalanche, it's going to affect tokens on those areas and what technically is deemed a security. Because if you're looking at security law inherently of what security law, what was written? 30s, something like that. I mean, hell, you're looking at terms of law that was written around the time of the Great Depression, not the time of payphones, pagers, fax machines, cellular internet, Wi-Fi on your phone, high-speed internet. The world has moved on from those secular laws of what technically is and governs security, but they're holding, to lion's share legacy, just like you'd be looking at laws that existed in the 1300s. Does that still apply and play in today's market and media? No. But because Metcalfe's law, Moore's law, and Reed's law moves so fast, you have to redefine the technicality of what that's going to do. You can even take it one step further, that the advent of AI, whether you're talking about journal AI, pictures generated without artists, doing it, just typing in a prompt and doing it, generated video that looks photoreal. Well, the world is moving on that you need to have proof of authenticity. And that's where, blockchain and all the rest of an immutable ledger and immutable code will be able to counterbalance what's going to be happening with AI. So you have to look into the future to really see where this is going to glean into the past.
I mean, yeah. So do you think, in your opinion, he's got good chances?
I think he's got fantastic chances.
Yeah. That's bullish, Ali. That's so bullish. Imagine if that happens during the Pulse Wars.
Of course, I do too. We've been, this saga has been ongoing for a long time for the Hex and Pulse chain community. And like Larry says, he's got a team of 11 top-notch lawyers. And when you read, we have spent time reading, the SEC's arguments, and all these documents were all public, and the community all read them and went through them. And there's a lot of cracks in what they're saying, a lot of faults, a lot of things that are false and just totally incorrect in their case. I'm no legal expert, but to me it seems like he has a great chance of winning this. And like Larry says, it's a thing. It's DeFi for all. He's there doing the good fight for everybody. I was saying to you before we even started streaming that the Pulse chain is kind of it is a proper DeFi playground. It's the community and a lot of stuff that's built over there. It's an absolutely awesome DeFi playground that hasn't got the adoption and the chance to run yet. And hopefully this court case plays out the way we all want it to. RH comes back, starts streaming again. That, like Larry's saying, that will be a massive thing for everything. And I was saying to you to go back and watch some of his old streams just to see how awesome this guy was, for crypto. And he wins this fight. Happy fucking days.
That's right. And that's the whole thing about camaraderie, right? Like, we can have multiple people as gladiators in the arena to fight for DeFi for all. And that's the most important, is everyone coming together, shield the spirit to work together, because we are the one that's going up, against big banks, corrupt policies, old leadership that doesn't have a tenement or a paramount. And especially like, you, Callum, or Max, your younger generations, like your new generation needs to be looking into the future on how this is going to be handled. Whereas, I'm in the middle of that kind of wedge and play. But for the younger people, that TikTok generation, all the rest of that, everything is different now. I mean, also, we need to get more youth in politics, lobbying, all the rest of those type of stuff. So that way we're setting the clause on the laws. And so, it's going to be exciting to see. But it is where we all need to take that step up to be fighting the good fight.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think Richard Heart's probably a very unique case where he has such a sway on, like you said, the streams were huge and everyone loved them, and his personality, people loved them. He sold Pulse Chain. Like, him coming back and doing streams again, how big of an impact does that have for the?
I mean, it'd be huge across the board. It'd be huge across the board for everyone to start working together. I mean, that's why we invented Pulsar, is to bind communities together, not just liquidity in between Ethereum and Pulse Chain, which most people don't understand under the hood how crazy that can be. but both the kumbaya of growing together with different communities instead of it just being my shiny rock's better than your shiny rock. You look at military, right? Not everyone's cavalry, not everyone is a foot soldier, not everyone is a pilot, right? You need to spread everything around, just like you would with food, right? Or you would with anything. Things have tiers, and those tiers support things. And so, like, ideally, that's where I would love to see multiple chains, multiple communities, multiple groups, all fighting on the same fight. And that is against bad regulations that are going to harm us into the future. That is with making sure that we are self-sovereign to our own money, time, authentication, and principles to make everything move forward. So those are what we all stand for, lion's share as a whole, regardless of what's in your wallet. Not everyone needs to be Capital One poking around in there. That's not really the point. The point is, what do we do for all to move together for all?
Yeah, that's super good point. Yeah. So do you think this is kind of a stepping stone for all of crypto, really?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's going to be really interesting because, I wasn't really into post-chain at the beginning, but Ali was saying just before the stream, it was crazy. The adoption, the sacrifice got at the beginning. And Ali, didn't you say you entered just when Hex was kind of reaching those all-time highs?
Yeah. So I only coming in, Hex was already at about, Hex was already at about 12 cents. So I'd missed most of the big run up. But like I say, I thought that I was very lucky at that time to find Richard Hart streaming. Here's the thing, right? So BitBoy Crypto, I was new to crypto and I was watching the BitBoy show. And at the time, he had Richard Hart coming on the show. And he was like, we've got this billionaire coming on the show. And it was only getting into crypto, you'd never really heard billionaires talking or whatever. And I was just intrigued to see what this guy would say when he come on. And they used to do this thing, a panel, and there'd be like 5 or 6 people all in the panel. And they would go around with these quick fire questions. And
it was around the blockchain is what it was.
Around the blockchain, and you listen, and they kind of get these point system, and you get a point that you say something good. And Richard Hart, for me that day, just the things that he was saying just blew everybody else out of the water. All the details that he was given, the knowledge that he had, it was just clear that he was light years ahead of all these other people on the panel. And that was it for me. Then it was just a matter of down the rabbit hole into finding out about Hex. I was too late to really make a good bit of money on Hex. I did participate and get t-shirts and stuff like that. But whenever he was launching Pulse Chain, I actually kept a lot of voice messages that I was sending to people at the time, saying, right, this new experiment coming up. He's going to fork Ethereum. Every coin that exists on Ethereum is going to get forked over to Pulse Chain. What the hell is going to happen? That's the ride we're all on at the minute. Unfortunately, it hasn't panned out just as well as we'd all hope. And that court case is huge, but I still believe very strongly in Pulse Chain. And like Larry says, a lot of people in the Titan-X ecosystem, he's trying to bridge communities. I'm trying to bridge communities. And that's, for me, that's been one of the most important things that I've done with all the crypto stuff that I'm doing with my streaming, with my building, is just trying to get people all working together harmoniously. And we'll get there eventually.
Here to that. So I got to jump off. But one last point to head in that and put a feather in that cap. Without finding Richard Hart, you probably not be where you are today, being a founder. And so we all come through these lenses. Every problem has a reward in its completion. What you do with those rewards is up to you. The Richard Hart collusions. But the growing is the most important part of that ecosystem. And if you hadn't have gone through those low lows, you wouldn't be confident in your high highs right now. Hey guys, I got to hop back off, and I will check you all later. And then Callum, let's hop on your stream. Ali, always a pleasure, my dear friend.
Yep.
Great to meet
Thanks
you,
for coming on. Thanks for coming on.
Take care, guys.
Take care.
Yeah, Larry's an OG in the Hex and Pulse Chain community. He's been there from the start, so he knows the crack. And even all the people there was 75 people or something showed up to the court case today. I'm pretty much sure Larry would probably know nearly every single one of them personally.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They did a lot of meetups and stuff. The Hex community did a lot of meetups. You see, there's a few of the guys from the Pulse Chain community, Vibra Finance, are talking about this a lot, trying to set up meets for the Titan-X community. There's a shitload of crossover between the two. Jake, we found Jake through the Hex and Pulse Chain community. So there's a massive, we always talk about being aligned in these Titan-X values. The core of those did definitely come from Richard Hart at the start. You know, that's how we all ended up meeting each other and being on Pulse Chain. But we've actually took a lot of those things and made them even better at the minute on Titan X.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, with what's going on with Titan X now, it seems like that. But I mean, if Richard Hart does win this case and everything gets cleared, what do you think is the best case scenario for Pulse Chain?
The Pulse Chain, the best case scenario. Okay, so if he comes back streaming, the confidence in the community will go through the roof. You know, everybody, we've all taken a battering, not just financially, but you know, just everybody outside wanted to see Richard Hart fail, wanted to see Hex fail, wanted to see Pulse Chain fail. We have an awesome system over there. And I say loads of really cracking stuff is built over there. Him coming back puts back confidence in everything. You know, there's always this thing. Richard Hart was right. You know, he got so many things right. And he's been battered now by the SEC, by all the haters. He's not being able to come out streaming, not being able to be vocal. You know, just when he comes back, even the outsiders will be, you know, if he wins this case, even everybody that hates him will have to give him acknowledgement for what he's doing for crypto at the minute. He could have done what everybody else has done and paid the fucking fines, paid these blood-sucking motherfuckers their money. But he said no. He said, no, I'm going to get lawyers and I'm going to fight you back. And that's exactly what he's doing. He could have just took the hit. But yeah, he's going for the fight.
I mean, this is a really unique situation to be, Max, for you to come into crypto. Because obviously you're only 18, so you've entered here. How do you kind of feel about everything that's going on now? Because you have Titan X on one side and you got Pulse on the other. So
actually, this is it is all a bit strange, but because whenever I started actually throwing a bit of money into crypto, I mean, it was more just that was like, here, throw this in. But whenever I was doing that, it was whenever like Hex was going up, and whenever I had threw a bit of money at it. And I saw my first wee profit, I was like, oh, and then I started watching Richard Hart streams, and even just seeing some of the streams, even though I knew absolutely nothing, I was like, this guy is a fucking genius. Like, it was mental. And I remember blatantly in my head, I was sitting with my dad, and Richard Hart had followed him, and seeing him talk about him the whole time, and whenever he followed him, he was near crying. He was near crying. He couldn't stop smiling. It was hilarious. Like a fangirl.
That's true, but you know, and that happened. That's one of the things that I loved about. Okay, so Richard Hart got to a point where he got so big that he was beyond the crowd, but. You know, he would come on like Jake is doing now. He would come on, he would sit on a stream for 8 hours just talking, just him and the camera and the comment section, and he'd do these long 8-hour streams. You know, and that you could even though I was late to the party, even at that stage, you would see he would pop into the chat rooms and be engaging with people. And, you know, and that for me was massive. You know, that he was that engaged with the community and that engaged with the people, just the way Jake is now. You know, there's not many other industries where the people at the top are the same as you are, if you know what I mean. Where they're able to just have conversations, humbled. Yeah. They've come from the exact same place that we're all coming from, and we're all trying to get to. So that's what I'm saying. You know, everybody loved getting followed by Richard Hart. So yeah, I was ecstatic whenever, because
what was your reaction like?
I was fucking jumping and cheering. I was telling everybody, people that didn't know who Richard Hart was. I was like, you know the meme when the people are dancing, the guy standing in the corner. I was like, well, Richard Hart followed me.
Yeah,
but he unfollowed me because if you talk about any other coins, he unfollows you. So he unfollowed me.
Oh man.
But that's you understand the reasons behind that. You know, you talk about other coins. You're not that you're promoting them, but I totally get it that a founder doesn't really maybe want other people to promote any other coins in any way at all. So he would unfollow people because it's other people. He doesn't want to research all the coins. So if you're not following people that are shilling other things that might get them wrecked, that was the whole reason behind it. But you know, it's like you come into a community. We're all searching for community. We all want to belong to something. We want to be a part of something that's not just ourselves, you know. And that's why community is so important to everybody. You know, you want to be a part of something good, part of something thriving. So to come in and start creating Richard Heart, you know, Hex and Pulse Chain, because my Instagram channel, I have like a maybe 50 or 60 1 minute long basic crypto tutorials. So I tried to cut down, you know, all crypto terminology into little 1 minute segments for easy digestion for noobs.
Yeah.
So just creating content like that. I was after doing that then with Pulse Chain background. Richard Hart followed me shortly after I was doing all that. So it's just a little bit of recognition for the effort that you're doing. Same way for now, Jake maybe liking and sharing people's comments in the Titan X ecosystem. It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Is there anything that you experienced in the Pulse Chain ecosystem that you'd like to see in the Titan X ecosystem, like community wise?
Honestly, no, because we're doing it so good at the minute. If you're the problem, part of the problem with the Pulse Chain community, everybody's been battered. So, you know, there is finger pointing. People are, you know, hating each other. Okay, I said this the other day. Cope is a very real thing in crypto. You know, we're all here and it's hard. Crypto is fucking tough. You get battered about left, right, and center. Yes, we're in the bull market now and things are a bit easier, but in the bear market, things are really, really tough. People lose a lot of money. And you know what? You get people that whenever they do something's going well for them, that they like to shove it in everybody else's faces. So there was a lot of blame game and within Pulse Chain because things were difficult. So is there anything there that I want to see? I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but what I will say is that what has come out of that is that you've got the likes of builders who work together. You've got community that supports each other. You've got community that tweet each other's stuff out, and all that supporting of each other, and the builders giving each other little allocations here and there. Everybody trying to do their part to help everybody else. If we can keep that, it is a fucking winning. It's a recipe for success. But keeping it is not going to be hard because you will. And I'm going to say this as well. I've already seen one new member come into the community I hope people can catch on. I've seen some negativity getting thrown out by one newcomer into the ecosystem, and that is the beginning of it. That's the beginning. The beginning is there. You know, attacking one person, attacking another person. And that's not what we want to see. And I've seen that happen now. And I'm not bringing it up. I'm bringing it up not to get at anybody, but to make people aware that is the exact thing we need to not get. And it's not giving these things any air. It's not getting into the arguments. When somebody says something you disagree with, it's easy to start attacking. It's easy to get into an argument. And I put a post out about it. Would you rather be happy or would you rather be right? And it comes down to that. You see, you get into these arguments with people, or you see something that annoys you, fucking let it go. Keep everything positive as long as possible. We have got a year here where we can all do extremely well if we play this right. So starting to get in and participate in negative comments, attacking each other, or whatever, that's the thing that needs to be avoided. It has been a horrible thing to experience on Pulse Chain. Because like I said to you behind the scenes, I'm building this Pulse Wars game and I'm including everybody's coins so that everybody can play together, have a little bit of fun together. I'm creating these teams so there's a little bit of friendly competition. And people that hate each other, I'm having a great conversations and great crack with both of them away from each other. We're all humans and most of us are pretty similar at the end of the day. So we need to keep that in the Titan X ecosystem where there's no infighting and it all stays the way it is at the minute.
Yeah,
I will say that, I mean, coming in, I strongly think that that one, although there is only one at the minute, I don't think any can infiltrate the good community. I mean, I'm literally freshly new, and every single person in the community is fucking brilliant. I'm texting them. I've been chatting to a few of them, and honestly, it's actually amazing. I wasn't thinking anything of it whenever I started posting videos, started chatting to people, but honestly, it's insane how supportive everyone is of everyone. It's actually incredible.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm the exact same with the streaming stuff. I just started reaching out to people, and yeah, I haven't had a single bad interaction. But like Ali was saying, I think as communities grow, more users comes in, there are those few that kind of spur off, and it sounds like that happened to Pulse Chain, kind of where these different clusters of groups kind of split up, and they didn't have an ethos or an idea in mind. They were kind of in their own little group. So as long as we can keep what we have now, I think for the next year it could be so, like, imagine if this continues and we just keep getting bigger. It will be
that's all we need. We just need to keep this momentum and keep it going for a year. Builders keep building good stuff, and the community, everybody tries to do their part. And we've got it. We've got a recipe for success. Jake's laid out a lot of really good foundations for everybody. And even when he continually comes out and hits the messages of retweeting and all that stuff, it works. And we're on here streaming. I specifically wanted to bring Max on just to show again another edge of the community, and try to maybe if he could start having conversations with people that people can see that there is young people in the community as well. All the streamers, a lot of the streamers are all us 30, 40-year-olds.
Me and Callum with a new generation here.
Exactly. That's why you've got such a good following so far as well, Callum. Fresh perspectives, young perspectives, and that's why Max is pretty new to crypto as well, and he's just trying to do his bit for the Titan-X community. I want to bring him on just so people can see that there's young people here in Titan-X as well. Obviously, Jake's a good bit younger than I am as well, but which I think is just important. It's another edge of the sword that we have here, that there's smart young people in the community as well.
Yeah, and honestly,
that aren't afraid to get out in front of the camera.
Yeah. And I would say, Max, it is the best way to learn. The stuff I've learned from streams, because you can ask whatever questions you want. So any questions you want, you can just get out. So it's such a good way to learn. 100%. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's pretty much what I have been doing. Just been literally throwing myself out there. I mean, I've been posting everything, jumping on it. I mean, I had a stream the other day, and I just threw myself at this one. I am here, and I'm learning.
And you know what? You'll be a really good spokesperson for Pulse Wars, and when X Wars comes out, you'll have more information than anyone.
I know.
Well, maybe Ali might have similar, but you'll be like, Ali, you've got a clone now. You can go and market everywhere.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So what's next on the cards for you?
For me?
Yeah, for you.
I mean, it's just Phoenix at the moment. I'm full focus on that. I want to get it out. Hopefully it'll be mid-November when we get it out, and then
mid-November's only it's crazy saying mid-November. That's only 2 weeks away, man.
I mean, so we've started testnet, and literally audits could happen after the weekend. So mid-November is we're going to do 2 audits. I mean, if there are issues, we'll do 3 audits, but it's not far away. I mean, it kind of feels surreal, but it's exciting. Like, you must have had the same kind of feeling when you were making Blaze with everyone.
Blaze took a long time. It took a long time, but and there was 8 of us, so it was very, very easy. Pulse Wars, launching Pulse Wars, the mint for Pulse Wars was my first project in March. That was really, really nerve-wracking because it was the first project, and you've got all the worries about, will the contracts all work when they go live? Will there be any hiccups? Again, that's a thing that I've worried about in the past more because I've launched maybe 4, 5, 6 projects with people now, and you kind of come, okay, when you've done your audits and you've done your testnet, you've done your audits, when you get to that point, you do know everything works. There's still a chance something will go wrong. There's still a small chance, but pretty much if you've got all that done, you've got your audits done, you don't really need to worry too much about anything kind of going wrong at the launch. Especially if you run all your stuff on testnet and you've done all your due diligence and you go in knowing that everything works, you'll be fine. But watching your participation, seeing how much starts to come in, it's really, really exciting. But it's also really nerve-wracking. And I've had both ends. I've had both ends of the stick. I've had stuff go really, really well. I've had stuff go really, really bad, and I've had stuff in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, what has been the best project launch with? Because obviously Accelerate has done loads now. So what has been your favorite project launch so far?
Unfortunately, the most fun to launch we didn't get any money from was Inferno. So we launched Inferno with some of the money that we made from Blaze. So we had a 16% allocation for Genesis and Blaze, and we took the funds from that, initial funds from that, to build and audit Inferno and give that back to the community. And that launch was, because by that stage that was my third launch that I was part of. So the stress was all gone, and you weren't worried about participation because there was no monetary gain. You just wanted it to be a success for it to be a success. But it went again. It started off badly, but those weekly mints were so exciting at the time.
I mean, look at it now as well. It's all-time highs over the last few days. Like
all-time highs. It's its own kingdom. It's got loads of projects building on it. You know, there's an infographic flying about out there that's showing the 7 or 8, maybe even 9 projects coming to Inferno. So, and all that started off with we had an idea for Inferno, to do that on Blaze as soon as it launched. But that was as soon as Blaze launched, we were like, right, next, and we got Inferno built, audited, and sent within 3 weeks of the team. We rallied hard to get that out. Like, so.
And is that all the original Blaze members?
That was the original 8. Yeah, that was the original 8 that we're all still working together at that stage. We still have, obviously we still work together for Blaze. Inferno, not so much, because some of the team are building on top there. Obviously, Steve and Rayman are over doing Volt and Notice, but we still have the same group chat. We still use a lot of the same devs. We still use, we're still all very involved in that chat room is still open. Like, obviously that Telegram group, we're still chatting in there every day. We're managing funds. We're managing a big Inferno LP position together. So, and then we've got Utah is working with Dude for something that's kind of hopefully going to benefit what we've all done together in the past. So, there's still conversations in there every day. But you look at, and this is something that I was kind of thinking about, it's funny just how things lead in. Larry was saying that, I wouldn't be in the situation exactly that I'm in now. I might be in some sort of similar place, but to be exactly where I am now, you follow the line. You find Richard Hart, find Jake Sharp, build on Pulse Chain, all that, and the only reason that the reason I jumped in with the Blaze team was because we were going to fork Pulse Wars and do it, put it out on on Titan. So all these little things that happened to get to where we are now. And it's interesting, we got Blaze out. Blaze, Pulse, in my opinion, Titan X needed Blaze and needed us at that time. We were in the doldrums. We were on the spaces every week. We were streaming every week. We were building. We were engaging. We were creating, contents, giveaways. We did all that as a team when there wasn't much going on in the ecosystem. And then from Blaze, after we got that out, there was 8 dudes who had a lot of good ideas, and we couldn't agree on any single one thing to do next. So, and as soon it did get to a crunch point, not that there was big arguments or anything, but we all got exhausted trying to figure out what we were going to do together next. And then as soon as one person said, fuck it, I'm away, I'm doing this, everybody went, right, I'm going to do my thing. So we've got Flux, we've got GoatX, we've got Awesome X, we've got Volt, we've got Lotus. All those things are all from Blaze team. All right, Awesome X isn't ours, but Accelerate helped build it. GoatX and all these things, and that's just all the progression of where that initial journey for me is coming from.
Such a good point. I mean, where would Titan X be without the Blaze 8? Like, you guys have spread out and just done so many projects and so many in the works as well. I mean, you've created a whole business behind it, Accelerate, where anyone can come. It's literally a launch pad where if you've got an idea, you can come build it, get it done. Like, the infrastructure you guys have put into place is, huge.
Now we are a small part of a big, massive cog. But that, like, I'm really proud that we went through all that. Blaze took a long time to build. Pulse Wars has taken a long time to build. And, maybe some of those things aren't the biggest money spinners for things that I've done or been involved in, but they're both. Pulse Wars is only starting, to be honest. Pulse Wars is only getting started. But Blaze is an absolute beast in the making. It's just trundles along like a workhorse, never fucking fails, fully decentralized. It's a glorious project and protocol.
I think it would be cool if after, so everyone's building these different projects with different unique bits here and there. It would be cool if the 8 come back together and launch with everything that you guys have learned, launch a mega huge project.
The Avengers. That's the Avengers.
Yeah, the Avengers.
Yeah, you know what? It'll happen. There's already talks about different bits and pieces, and maybe not everybody will come back and build something together. But you know, the thing is, there's funds there. There's funds within that team, not things that have been the things that pots of money that's sitting to be utilized by the team. They're not even individual funds, so we'll have to come back and do a few different things.
Yeah, 100%. And that's like you were saying for Blaze, because I'm guessing that's split between everyone, and that pot is just going to grow, which just means more builds for everyone, which is really, really cool. So you
means me next.
Yeah.
So Ali, what are you most excited about with Accelerate at the moment, or with projects that are coming out in the future?
Ooh, and all of them are on Accelerate. Okay, so
for an Accelerate,
At the minute, okay, because it's different, I'm gonna throw a shout out to Trader Lee and Sal Vega. They are building, their project is called Ascend.
Okay.
There's the theme.
It's a good name.
It's a Dragon Ball Z theme to the project. Yeah. That's the theme behind it. I'm really excited. Not because of that theme. I just think that's going to fit the ecosystem really, really well. The graphics that we're putting together at the minute are out of this fucking world. But the protocol itself is, it's pretty killer. I really do like it. So yeah, Ascend, Trader Lee and Sal Vega. That's the build that I'm. Well, in fairness, we've split off to work with separate clients, kind of, and that's kind of the one that I'm taking a bit of a lead in. Is that maybe that's why I picked that one, because I like it.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds cool. Yeah, because those guys are big in the community for sure. They have done a lot. Yeah. So did they just reach out to you and they were like,
yeah. It's just part of the Accelerate thing. We're pushing that brand a lot. And okay, I'm gonna sell our service here about why it's so good, because there's a lot of stressful things. You've got to be out. You're out streaming because you know you've got to be out streaming. You got to be out in front and center talking about a project. You've got to get coverage for it. You've got to be talking about it. Not everybody wants to get out front and center and talk about it. And that's part of the easy part. You know, when it comes to funding a project, that's all right. You know, people get the funds together to go to fund that part. But the time that's wasted finding devs, dealing with devs, finding auditors, making mistakes, changing protocols, we can cut a lot of that stuff out. So you write a white paper, and I don't know, I don't know about you, but I changed the Pulse Wars white paper probably 50 times. You write it, change it, and then you can get into the position where you start building and you realize something's not going to work. So why Accelerate's good is because I've already got maybe six projects that is behind me. Now I've dealt with numerous auditors. Maybe some of those builds have been up to 3 auditors. We've got dealt with devs. A lot of the stuff that you're going to make mistakes doing, we can help people avoid the mistakes. So whenever you get a white paper, we can look at the white paper and go, okay, well, look, this isn't going to work and that is going to work from experience. And then we can have round tables where there's not just the people that are coming with the idea, but there's, they've got me, Scotty Boy, and Bad Sports, who've got a fair bit of experience, but then we can lean on, and we do it. We can go out and talk to the other builders straight away and have conversations with them, and the thing is, those are instant conversations. We can reach out to Jake, we can reach out to the likes of Larry and people who are really, really experienced. We'll have all those connections to just make sure you don't make the mistakes that we've made in the past. Not saying that everything's going to be perfect and rosy, but you can avoid all those pitfalls by working with Accelerate. And then when it comes to testing, you have more eyeballs on it. You've got more people helping. You've got more people promoting. You've got more people posting, and you've got more people that are really helping to push the project along. And that's what I think we do a really, really good job at, is cutting out people's time, wasted effort, and helping to get the word out properly about their projects.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's such a good idea because it allows anyone to come in. Because, if you've been in Titan for a while, people are making decent money. And if you've got a good idea, why not? unique investment, but why not?
It's at the point though. I'll say this: there's so many good ideas. That I think it takes a little bit more than a good idea to make a success of a project.
Okay. What else do you think it takes?
I think it takes you to be a little bit extra, have a little bit of extra smart as the what way you're building the protocol. It has to just have something a little bit extra, and I think being able to be out marketing the thing properly. Now that doesn't necessarily mean to be out and doing your own streams, where you're creating your own channel, but just being able to consistently bang out content. It is the most important thing once you launch is that being able to bang out consistent content. And I don't think a lot of people are, I don't think everybody is cut out for that part of it.
Yeah. That is a very good point. Who do you think is the best role model to look at for that?
Jake.
Yeah, I agree actually. I mean, it was insane, the anniversary stream. He was tweeting full on tweets with loads of information whilst he was on live, whilst he was speaking to people. I
can't keep up. I did 4 hours 2 days. I got home on the Monday after work, and I had a stream on Monday at 9 o'clock, and I fell asleep in the sofa and was late.
That was mine.
There you go. I was fucking exhausted. I was so beat after just doing 2 4-hour streams. I was dead. I wasn't tweeting, whereas Jake, and he has energy of maybe somebody a bit younger than me as well. But that's a good. And I'll say as well, Steve DeFi stepped up to the fucking plate. He just consistent content. Not only is Volt an absolute killer of a protocol, but when it comes to content, he's doing the right thing as well. There's consistent, new, entertaining content for Volt all the time, and that's where Pulse Wars for me was lacking, and that's why I've been lucky to get Max. He's really stepped up and helped me a lot with in the background. Where just, I'll say to him, okay, today I need 4 videos and put this content into them, and then it's done. Don't even need to think about it anymore, because I think it's so important. It doesn't even matter if it's getting loads of engagement just yet, but as long as there's constant stuff going out that's engaging and it's continuous and it's different.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think people like Max that are coming in now is the founders need help. Like, even with all the videos that Steve are putting out, and there's people in the community now that are like making all this really good content. I mean, yeah, there's definitely like kind of a niche there for people to come in and help out. And it's so important, like you were saying, it's so important. You need the consistent content.
Yeah, just for new people that aren't in your project yet to see it and find it and whatever else, So
do you think that's more difficult after launching a project, or is it more difficult before marketing?
It's easy before, because it doesn't really matter. You need to do it. You need to do it. You need to do it to get people to know about your project, to participate. But that is the easy part, because when something's coming out and it's new, there's always going to be that's your hype cycle. You have your hype cycle coming in. You look at anything, like even take a couple of the mints, for example. Alien X minted, Morpheus minted, absolutely phenomenal participation. Even Awesome X, all great participation at the start. Die off a little bit. Awesome X is starting to do quite well again. It just takes that bit of time, but that's the marketing aspect of it. It's not that it's easy, but people are going to be hyped for a new project, especially if it looks good on paper. And your project looks really, really good on paper, and I hope it's going to be. I'm excited. I'm really excited for it. So you're doing the right thing now, and you will get your hype cycle, and hopefully you do get good participation. If it continues, awesome. But it's that lull time in between where people are going to say, "Oh, this is shit," and that's not working the way it should, and you're going to get a little bit of FUD, a little bit of not. It's not even not hate or anything like that. Not as far as that, but it's not going to be. It can't go up under the right forever. Yeah. And to be able to not worry about that stuff and just continue to do the work that needs to get done, is quite difficult.
I think that's what you were just talking about as well. Like with new builders, they have to there's a lot of projects coming out now. So you have to bring a value proposition that's different. You can't really have similar or the same. It needs to be unique in its own way, because there are so many options now. that people have to pick between. So yeah, that's a really, really good point. I mean, guys, we've been going for almost 2 hours now. So I mean,
I know I was going to be. I thought I was going to get away with about 45 minutes here.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a really good stream though. Good luck with Pulse Wars. Honestly, it seems awesome. It seems really, really good. So yeah, just tell the crowd as well one more time what's behind Pulse Wars. What are the deadlines? Go for it.
Okay, so Pulse Wars Mint has been live for a while, but the game starts on Sunday. So there's a cutoff time tomorrow, 3 p.m. GMT tomorrow 2 p.m. is the cut tomorrow. GMT is the cutoff for minting NFTs to join the game in round 1. Over the weekend, there will be a 48-hour period that anybody that has NFTs can do all their pre-game portfolio claiming, portfolio selections, allocations. And then on Sunday at 3 p.m. UK time, GMT, the round 1 for Pulse Wars kicks off. So
kicks off, yeah.
If you haven't minted an NFT yet, go to app.pulsewars.io. If you're watching the start of the stream, there's huge potential down the line here. Picking them up for $50 now is an absolute steal, an absolute bargain. So yeah, app.pulsewars.io. Mint your NFTs before, well, what have we got? Maybe 12, 15 hours? 15 hours?
Yeah, not long.
15 hours to go.
Yeah, nice. Okay, Max, any last message for everyone watching?
Well, Ali went and said pretty much all, but what I will say is that, well, for what is it, the 15 hours that we have, you're basically getting your NFT for half price. I mean, I've been on talking about it non-stop. The time to mint is now. Like, it's 1 million pulse to mint at the minute. Tomorrow goes straight up to 2 million, and then the game will start. So you need to get minting right now.
Yep, well said. Here, yes, thanks for having us both on the show, Callum. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. It's been a good stream. Thanks everyone for watching. See you later. I pressed end.